Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do a really casual drink and chat with you today, sharing my January and February favorites. So as you can see, I have a glass of wine here. Feel free to grab a drink yourself, it can be non-alcoholic as well. And I wanted to share these products as well as show how I actually use them in my planners and journals. So hopefully that'll be helpful. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to quickly move my glass of wine so we don't get any spilling accidents. All right, so the first things that I wanted to go over are the pens that I've been loving. And I've been using these mostly in my Hobonichi and my personal rings. So the first one I want to share is this gel pen from Keiko Green. And this is, I'm not sure if it has a particular name color, but it's the Mirandy color set. It comes in a set on Amazon, or I think you can buy the individual colors on cloth and paper. Well, I know you can, but I just say I think because I don't know if this one is in stock. I use these in my personal spreads just to add a bit of color and interest. Oh, this is a good spread to show you the color differences. So the Keiko Green writes really smoothly and quite bold, which I like. It's a 0.5 tip, but I really like how smooth and like opaque the color is. And then the other one I've been loving, which is also really smooth and is a brownie color, is this Zebra Sarasa Vintage in the camel yellow color. And I also bought this as a set, but I bought it on Jet Pens, but I believe it's cheaper on Amazon. You can buy individual colors on Jet Pens, which is awesome if you just want to get one color. So these two I've been loving, pretty much been using them in every single spread. So this is the Keiko Green, and then this is the Zebra Vintage Sarasa. And I also have used it in my Hobonichi as well. Although I will say the Keiko Green tends to shadow quite a bit, so I've kind of stopped using that in my planner. I just prefer the Zebra Sarasa dries. So this is what the vintage Sarasa looks like in my Hobonichi, and this is one of my favorite spreads. I love the way that the colors look. Another favorite is the Zebra Mild Liner in brown, which you can see here as well. I first saw Lindsay from Lindsay Scribbles use this in her planner, and I just love the way the color looks. And I also use the Uni Jetstream here. So basically what I did is I put down all of like the big memories, and then any details I wanted to capture, I put it underneath in black with the Uni Jetstream. So I know this is a tool pen barrel, but inside I've switched the refill. So it's a Uni Jetstream I think it's 0.3. Yeah, it's 0.3. So, but I have a 0.5 and they write relatively similar. They're both really smooth. So I really like that. And the reason the Jetstreams are great, again, got this from Lindsay, is that they dry pretty quickly, and you can use Tombow brush lettering pens and Zebra Sarasas and highlight it and it won't smear. So that's one great thing about the Uni Jetstreams, and they're also really smooth. So I've been loving using that in my Hobonichi specifically. The highlighters I also use in my personal rings. And speaking of Tombow dual brush pens, these two are my favorite shades of January and February. So one is the 772 and the other one is the 942. So if I go to the next page, you can see here, this is the 942 and this is the Keiko Green, by the way. Let me see if you can see the back side. Yeah, so as you can see, it kind of shadows quite a bit, whereas this Sarasa doesn't shadow as much. And then the 992 is like the perfect dusty rose, and I use them in the back in my journaling pages. So let me just find one that I used it in. All right, so let me zoom out a little bit. So here is a spread where you can see both of these in action. So this one is the Tombow 942, and then this one is the Tombow 772, which is such a pretty shade of pink. So I've been loving those as well, and I find it easier to letter with the Tombow dual brush pens for some reason. Maybe because it's like so big, so it's like there's more control, but I do quite like my lettering with the Tombows. And I got these on tombowusa.com. They often have like 30% off sales and free shipping on any order, which makes it like the cheapest place I've found to get these pens. So I recommend like waiting for a sale on Tombow if you live in the States. Those are my pen favorites. Let's move on to the stickers. So let me move this aside. So for the sticker favorites, I will pull in my TSKP planner to show you because that's really where I use these. So I only have 2 to share with you this month for these past 2 months, and they're both from Honey Inked, and I'm sure it comes to no surprise for some of you. So the first one are these snowflakes, which I have in like every color palette. So we have the white foil in the big and the small, and Honey Inked offers them in like full snowflake versions as well, but I prefer the half snowflakes. So we have white foil, black, no, those aren't black foil, that's just regular black. And then silver, we have hollow, gold, and then rose gold, which I love the tone of this rose gold. So I've been loving those, and you can see, wait, I don't have it on this page, but I've been using them in pretty much every spread. You can see here I've used it. Here, I love how the white looks on this kind of deep blue. Oh, I know, I'll show you my favorite spread that I did in January, which is this one. This is a Harry Potter theme, Gryffindor theme, and I love the way it turned out. I was able to take my time with it, and I love all the layering. So you can see here the snowflakes in gold foil, and then the snowflakes in white foil, and this is a little detail that I love. So there you can see it in action. And then the other sticker favorite I have is also from Honey Inked, and they are these tiny stem flowers. And I've just loved pulling these in. I love the shape and the size. They're so dainty and pretty, and they just add a little sweet girly element to all of my spreads. So you can see here I did a little bit of layering. I just put 3 of them together here, and I love that, how that looks. Here's another place where I used it, like next to boxes that don't fill up the entire width. Love that. And then here as well, this is a spread that I did when I didn't have too much going on and I didn't write anything down. So you can see another one of those Honey Inked florals there, and another one here. I love the rose gold in particular on this brown craft paper. It looks really nice. So that is definitely a favorite of mine for Jan and Feb. So those are my sticker favorites. Don't have too many, but I just have really been loving these Honey Inked foiled stickers. And then let's move on to the washi. So I have 2 different kinds of washi that I've been loving using the past couple months, and the grid one will come as no surprise. I am obsessed with this grid washi. I've used it in pretty much every spread, as well as these thinner ones. I got them in from the same place from AliExpress, which I'll link down below, but these thinner ones are a bit transparent, and I've been loving the neutrals. They go really well together. So you can see I pulled it in a lot in this spread in particular. So I rip up the grid washi and then add a little accent of the thinner neutral color there, the solid one. And here you can see I used it for marking work and coffee. And then in the Harry Potter spread, I used it to accent the date covers. I've just been using it everywhere basically, and I have been loving it so much. I don't know what it is about it. It's such a simple design, but I love it. So I definitely had to share that with you. So those are all the stickers and washi. And the last thing I'll share, and this is the stuff that I haven't really shared before on YouTube, one is my rings favorites. So first are some inserts, and then I have my pocket planner to show you. So in terms of my favorite ring inserts for the past couple months, they are definitely the Gisenia printables, and actually these highlight inserts too, but the Gisenia printables, I believe they're called Bow Dailies. So they're basically a week on, 4 pages, and it has a kind of so-called sidebar section at the end. And these have just been working so well for me because I do personal to-dos on the left and then content and planning related to-dos on the right. And it helps keep me organized because those are really the things that I plan out the most in my personal life. And then on the sidebar, quote unquote, section here, I put Happy Mail, and then I track my sleep, and then on the notes I add random notes, things I want to journal, things like that. So absolutely loving these inserts. I did switch things up for March just because I want to try new things, but I really can see myself just using these forever because they just work so well for me right now. And I also wanted to mention these from Simple and Trendy Co. I'm using them to mark highlights, like a couple highlights or one highlight from each day. So it makes it really simple for me to fill out my monthly highlights in my TSKP. So I also really love these. In terms of actual ring planners, I have absolutely been loving this pocket planner from Gillio. So this is a Gillio pocket planner in the orange Apoca leather, and I bought this pre-loved off Instagram, and it was like love at first sight. I don't know, like I'm kind of surprised that I went for this color, but when I saw the pictures of like the texture, I just knew that I would love it. And when I got it, it was even better than I expected. It has sort of a matte texture, which I love, and it's really smooth, but it has some pebbling on it, and the back here, this big pebbling, I absolutely love. And then when I open it up, it has the really smooth leather on the inside, which I usually prefer. So it's just like, I absolutely love this thing. And then pocket size is just so cute. So I'm using this planner currently for work. Really, really love it. And it's super willpower boosting for work because work has been pretty draining lately. So I have been talking about willpower a lot. Where is all this stuff coming from? Anyway, I have been talking about willpower a lot, and that is inspired by Alexi Pappas' book Bravey, where she mentions like a willpower chart basically, and the idea is to balance what drains and gives us willpower every day. So work is willpower draining, but this planner and going into it every day brings it back to equilibrium, if that makes sense. At least sort of, a little bit. So I just absolutely have been loving this little planner, and yeah, I thought I would share that with you. And the last thing I'll share is my Hobonichi cover, which I have been also loving as well. It's like, this makes going into my Hobonichi even more exciting every night. So this cover is from Eternal Leather Goods. It is a custom, and I am just blown away. I love this cover so much. My favorite part, I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, but there are some striations here, and then this veining on the back is my absolute favorite. So I'll leave the specifications down in the description bar, but the craftsmanship is superb. I love the leather. It is an undyed leather, and I didn't treat it at all, which is surprising because I did spray Apple Guard, which is like a protectant on my Gillios, but for this one I really wanted just to leave it as it was and see how it kind of grows and, I don't know, changes with me. So there are some watermarks and some scratches on it, but I really like the smell as well, which I typically don't love the smell of leather. So like the Gillios, the smell, I'm indifferent to it, but I really like the smell of this leather in particular. And I don't know if it's the smell of like the actual leather or if, I don't know, it was whatever they used to finish the leather. It has sort of like a, I wrote it down somewhere, hold on. All right, so here is my little journal entry that I did for Eternal Leather Goods, and I did write about the smell. Where did I write about it? So the leather is super smooth, smoother than my Bay Leather Foxies, and has a cocoa butter rounder, I don't know if cocoa butter actually smells like this, but it has like a rounder leather aroma to it, which is what I wrote here. And I'm obsessed with it. I love pulling this out every night, and even sometimes during the day. So please feel free to pause if you want to read more about my thoughts on this cover. All right, everyone, that is all I have for you for my January and February favorites. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will have everything that I can linked down below as well, which I think I can link everything here, so that's awesome. Let me know if you had any January or February favorites as well. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all taking good care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.